I stepped on IED, so improvised explosive device. Simply, it's homemade bomb. We passed a couple of compounds, some irrigation ditches, and we just working on the side of the poppy field, and suddenly went bang, and yeah, my life changed that way. I was born in western part of Nepal and grew up to age of 19 in Nepal. Then I joined the British Army and came over to UK. I grew up in hills, I would say, about 2,700 meters. There wasn't any hospital, so I grew up. I was born in a cow shed. And I went barefoot to school. There was no pen and paper, so I learned how to write on wooden plank with a chalky stone. I had to walk about 45 minutes each way to the school. When I came back, I had to go up the hills, so it took slightly longer. I had to go walk another day to walk to my secondary school and high school. So in Nepal, secondary school is 6 and 7, and high school is 8 to 10. I failed a few times. In Nepal, if you, let's say, fail it, you stay in class forever. You see different age of the children in there. So at that time, I think it was 30 years that one of the regime went and the democracy came. And some ways there is one group, they decided that they want to change the Nepal through arms, and civil war started. It lasted for 10 years, and I grew up during that time, and luckily they are in the government now. So yeah, we have a peace now. So ideology is really crazy things that let's say even like same family, the brothers have different opinions, and like say father and son having different opinions, and it was really brutal. In my village, there were 21 people died when I joined the British Army, when I left the village. So later, the more people got killed, but most of them, the innocent people who got killed. And when I look at, I've been a couple of conflicts around the world as part of my job. And, there are few things that who actually drives war, like poverty, education, ideology, money, politics. So I remember why, and the place that I grew up, it was pretty much headquarters of that uprising. So it was very difficult, and we didn't have much choice. So your children go to school, and whether they come back or not, this is how kind of. And there is two different sides, and you have no middle ground. You have to step on one side. And some ways I was fortunate to escape that and join the British Army. But again, I went to another war after that. So Gurkhas are simply men from Nepal who serving as a soldier in foreign countries, mainly United Kingdom, India, Singapore, and Brunei. And we are recruited in Nepal and come here. So we are serving for the United Kingdom over 209 years. Simply we fought with the British, and later we had some negotiations. So okay, we're not gonna fight. So this is why Nepal was never colonized. And so I think British understood that our fighting skill was pretty good. So we got on with the British and fight around the world, and pretty much all the conflicts that Great Britain got involved, the Gurkhas got involved. And at one point, 1/3 of Nepalese men's population were serving for the Gurkhas. We can run up and down the hills quite fast, but we are also little ones, so we are a smaller target. So first is a selection. At that time, it's in three stages. I think it's still the same now. And you go to the regional selection. And regional selection, out of 60, there are only the 6. We went to central selection, which is a month. So they test you from your fitness. There is a very famous selection process that carrying a basket at the back and running uphill to without load running. They test our social skills. Can be able to work in teams, because some people are very individualistic and they are not fit for military, because military is all about teamwork. But also they test our IQ, they test our medical, they test our command skills, and they test our academics, mainly math and English. They test you pretty much everything and find out who you are, and finally you get selected. Many have cry. I was very, very fortunate enough to join in first attempt. Some tried 3-4 attempts, and there is an age bracket only you can join, so 18 to 22 at that time. I was infantry, so I was the 1st Battalion, the Royal Gurkha Rifles. I wasn't not that brainy enough to go to some of the regiments like engineers or signalers. This is a kukri. This is a signature weapon for the Gurkhas. So if you see any of the Gurkha regiments who has got at least kukri symbol on their cap badge. Some of them like a 2 crossed, some of them like this 1, some are facing downwards, some are facing upwards, whatever that is. But this is kukri. Normally in the regiment we have 2 different kind of kukris mainly. One is like this one, and just to use day to day, or in the field, in the war, you use this one. Another one is ceremonial one, like say if you see the Gurkhas guarding Buckingham Palace and see shiny black kukris at their back, then that's the one when you do that drills and that's what we use. And this is simply kukri. So this is to chopping from woods to to chopping enemies if you need to. If you go in battlefield, then every Gurkhas are carrying these knives. It depends on, there are different sizes as well. So they will be carrying different purpose for different sizes kukris.
Hi, welcome to Deep.
This channel goes a level deeper.
Deep is a brand new YouTube channel that is dedicated to the amazing experiences of incredible individuals.
We basically try and answer the questions that you always want the answer to, but you don't feel like you can ask.
Myself and the team are responsible for a lot of the factual content that you might have seen on YouTube. Minutes with, The Gap, Agree to Disagree, among others. And we set up this new studio and this new channel to go a level deeper.
We will be uploading a new video every single week.
There'll be a wide range of stories, so please hit the subscribe bell.
Please let us know in the comments if there's anything you want us to cover, any stories that you've been interested in, any questions you wanted to ask.
We hope you enjoy. Now back to our story.
I arrived in my regiment 10 o'clock in the morning, and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was flown to Kenya. Yes, so that was the first thing. Then after that, I went to Brunei. From Brunei, I served many countries in Southeast Asia. I came back again. I was deployed to Bosnia and Kosovo as a part of peacekeeping force, mainly. Then finally, I was deployed in Afghanistan. That's where I work. I lost my both legs. We're on foot patrol. We were 20 people. We're all single file. On that day, we had two missions. One mission was to give a security to two engineers who were going to recce the old damaged well, so later they can go and repair a well. Another one is to familiarize with the new area. That was it. And we passed a couple of compounds, some irrigation ditches, and we just working on the side of the poppy field, and suddenly went bang, and yeah, my life changed that way. I stepped on IED, so improvised explosive device, simply it's homemade bomb. And luckily it was partially, exploded, and I lost my right leg straight away. It wasn't there. I had left leg, but it was just, dangling and bone and skins, and also injured my right arm, you see. Couldn't able to move, so my friends came around me, cleared the bomb around, and patched me up, called a heli and evacuated me, and they saved my life. And I'm very grateful to all those my colleagues that who were in that patrol, who rescued me, who treated me in hospitals, in my rehabilitations, and also taught me all those sports and adventures, and helped me out to wherever I am. The first thing was definitely my career was gone, and I was about to promote to next rank, and I didn't know how long I was going to keep my job, and I was a breadwinner for the family, and not just here in the UK, which we just moved to UK from Brunei, and I have very young children, and also many of my families who financially depend on me in Nepal as well. I saw when I was growing up, I saw how disabled people were treated back in the villages and in other part of Nepal, and how disabled people are perceived, and that was very, very hard for me to overcome, and that is really, really hit me, and I didn't know what to do. I thought that way, and it was difficult. And about 1.5 years, 2 years of my time, I really didn't know what to do. You name it, everything I went through, from feeling alone, depressed. I was diagnosed with PTSD. I felt worthless. Simply, I thought that my life is done. And one point I turned into very alcoholic. When I didn't drink, my hands were shaky. And I thought if I'm going that way, I will die soon. And one day, actually a few times, tried to take my life myself. But I think later, just looking at my especially son's face, he was around 3 years old, I think. Just some ways I couldn't take my life and say, okay, I'm going to live my life no matter what. Even sitting on wheelchair, I will still, advise him what to do. Maybe. I don't know much, but I'll do my best to, just maybe guide him some ways. And if I die myself, then I'll create more problem, not just myself, but also to my families, because my family will suffer from my action. Then one day I decided that I'm going to live my life, and after that, it's completely different. Everything, you want to do that, you want to do this, you want to do that, and and I had little confidence. I think I had little hope. After that, my aim was to what can I do physically, and I tried, I did pretty much all the sports and adventure that I could put my hands on. And then after that, I realized that, yeah, you can do everything. It's a different way of doing things. I might need help a little bit, but even prime minister, presidents, they have so many people who are helping them to run the country. So I shouldn't, ashamed to ask for help. So after that, life is all about adaptation. If we adapt our life according to the time and situation and our abilities, we can achieve anything. My legs might be my weakness. We all have weaknesses. I think no one is perfect in this world. We have some kind of weakness, but that doesn't mean that we can't do anything. We can do everything as long as we adapt our life. So after my injuries, I was trying to do all sports and adventure to find out what can I do physically. I didn't know how powerful is mind. I didn't know that. Then when I was skiing in America and here in Europe, looking at the mountain, I always, thought about, Mount Everest. Because when I was growing up from very little child, we used to get educated that Mount Everest is tallest peak in the world and it's in Nepal. And for Nepalese people, it's a symbol, it's a pride, it's an identity. I always had in my mind, even when I was in service, I wanted to climb that. There was in my mind was how and why. So some ways there was in my mind. Later I start sharing with my friends, and later I start gathering the team, and some ways I was tested myself. And yes, one day I decided myself that I'm gonna climb Mount Everest. Then it wasn't going back. It didn't fall into place initially, so I supposed to climb in 2018. But in 2017, Nepalese authorities banned double amputees and visually impaired. Why? Is because, even though the legislators who make laws, they are very educated in academically, but I don't think they were very educated in sense of disability. But we didn't have any choice other than going to court. So we went to Supreme Court in Nepal, and lots of my friends, disabled communities, and many others who helped us to, fight through that case and were able to overturn. Then, there was lots of other problems. Corona popped in. So I was thinking to climb maybe 1.5 years time, but it took nearly 6 years to climb Mount Everest. Making successful the Everest expedition is, I think, mainly two things that played a really, really vital role. One, the way I grew up, one thing, and second is my military career. And the principles that I learned, physical ability that I have experienced in the military. So I think it played a vital role, I think. I wasn't first double amputee, but I was first double above knee amputee. So it is, people with the knee and people without knees is completely different. People can lift their knees, but you have got a longer gait so that you can go walk faster. But without the knees is difficult. So I'm walking like a penguin, simply from my hips. So that's why normally it takes 3 times longer than normal people. I burn 3 times more energy. That means that more risk, the more team, more money. I walked to base camp all the way in 2022. So I really didn't want it to waste my energy there. So we were already climbed under the mountain. We were acclimatized, so we just flew in. Then we thought that the route is gonna open earlier, but it didn't open early because of the weather, and 3 of the guys from the rope fixing team who Serac collapsed in Khumbu Icefall and buried them and they died. So that also took a little bit time to reorganize and go to fix the route. So it didn't, and we just waited 19 days at base camp. It was quite difficult to just keep focusing, getting fit. And from my tent to dining tent was 20 meters, and I spent there for 19 days. Then we thought that the weather is gonna open and they're gonna fix the route to the summit. So we went up to Camp 2. We went all the way through the Khumbu Icefall. We went at night because normally slower people go about 12 o'clock at night, and faster will leave around 3, 1, 2, 3, depends on their speed. We started 7:45 in the evening. Went up, and the guys caught us. Some front people caught us up just below the camp. From Camp 1 to Camp 2, it took 4 hours. From Camp 2 to Camp 3, it took 6 hours. Camp 3 to Camp 4 took 14 hours. And Camp 4 we're supposed to put Camp 5 and possible Camp 6, but our logistic didn't arrive. So we actually sleeping in someone's tent. So we had no choice. I was already knackered, completely tired when we arrived at Camp 4 at 6 o'clock in the evening. And the guy said, after 2.5 hours, we're going for a summit. I was already tired and knackered, but I prepared for over 5 years. So many people who are supporting me, who worked so much hard for me. And there are lots of organizations and charities, and I'm not just there. I'm representing people with disability. I'm representing Gurkhas. I'm representing Nepal. I'm representing veterans. I'm also representing United Kingdom. And I have got 1 day to make it or break it. So, okay. As long as my team are safe, I'll keep it going until I collapse. Every step is a struggle for me. If you see me climbing, simply for me, every step is a struggle. And when we went up, say, okay, we can see the South Summit. Let's go up to the South Summit and let's see. And once we get to the South Summit, it's just summit. You see the Hillary step and summit. So I just asked my Sherpas, do we have enough oxygen? Yes. Can we make it? Yes. We just keep it going. We submitted 3:10 in the afternoon. So up to the Hillary step, weather was okay. When after passing Hillary step, like a wind, snow, yeah, it is very bad on the summit. I imagine myself that, on the summit, I just close my eye and feel that I'm here. We created a history. But also I wanted to see 360 how it looks from summit. And I had lots of flags and take some good photo and get back down. But nothing happened like that. So it was really windy, cold. So I just made some emergency phone calls. We didn't have any radio. Radio was taken down by other team. And just rush down to the mountain as fast as we can. And 2 of my guides, they left because their oxygen was running out. So they came back down, and luckily they reached Camp 4. 3 of us were left, and we were halfway off the south summit. My oxygen ran out again. My Sherpa leader, he gave me his oxygen, and he went down. He said, I'll go down up to the balcony where it might be oxygen, where our team, return. So if there's oxygen, then I will wait you there. He said he went down, but there was no oxygen. So he went where from he left. He went without oxygen to the camp 4. Luckily, he arrived, and I and my brother were left on the mountain. We had oxygen, but we reduced our oxygen. So I was taking at 3, and I reduced to 2, and my brother was taking at 2, and he reduced to 1. And when we get down to the balcony, there was no oxygen. We were trying to find out the oxygen bottles, and even Sherpa left. So it got dark, and I asked my brother can I have some water, and he took it out, completely frozen. We realized that our thermos can keep the warm water up to 18 hours only, and we are longer than that. And then after it got dark, so my headlight was taken by other teams down. So some ways my brother still had light, but it was used whole night before. So some way he switched on, and it was like very dim. You couldn't see properly, but luckily we had like a fixed line. So we just got. So I bombed down from South Summit to all the way down to wall of the camp 4, and we just keep it going. And when we were about halfway down, we could see the other day's climber coming up. You could see their headlights, and we had hopefully they give us their spare oxygen, and we can use that, get down, and we can send them with the other, because we knew that there were our team, and we can send that oxygen to those. And luckily, the front guy was our Sherpa. He was assistant Sherpa. He never been high up there. He brought 2 bottles of oxygen with hot water. He saved us. I think by the time when we reached out, maybe we had 5-10 minutes of oxygen left, I think. Maybe in about half an hour you're dead. And there's lots of medias and the government that who banned me before wanted to congratulate me. Actually, tourism minister came at the airport, and he was waiting me at the airport when I came down. And the same day, the Prime Minister called me in his office and congratulated me. I think there are lots of times that the scariest moment, I didn't 100%. I always knew that this is possible, because we made many impossible things possible. So without legs, climb Mount Everest is definitely possible. But I wasn't entirely sure that this was going to be successful. But also, I was going back home safely. It was difficult, but I think if we're scared, we're not gonna able to do anything. We wouldn't able to walk in the street. My dad used to say me that if you're not meant to die, you're not gonna die anywhere. But if you are meant to die, you will die at home. So we won't die if we are not meant to die. I didn't die in Afghanistan. Many other mountains, very close calls for many other mountains as well. I didn't die in Everest. And if I meant to die, I'll die at home. Was doing something else.